by Bedell there, and the Braves just doing it with smash mouth football. Blocking up front is perfectly executed, and Bedell able to find the holes, find the seams. He cut it back that time, picked up 8 more yards, and he's really come out here looking to make big plays happen here in the second half.
John Ellum, the big left tackle, 6'2", 270-pound junior for Berea, got a nice block on the corner, enabling Bedell to turn upfield. This time it's Britton off the left side, and all he does is attract about 6 brown jerseys. He needed about 3.5 yards for the first down. He's well short. So it'll be 3rd down and about a yard. Under 4 minutes to play now, and Berea, with the lead, is starting to wear down the clock as well.
That's what's most impressive about this drive, Matt. They're doing it on the ground, and in so doing that, they're grinding the clock away as well.
James takes a snap, quick pitch to Bedell. He's already at the corner, turns across the 30, knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and he just appears right now to be unstoppable.
8 more yards. He's already up to 84 yards here in this second half alone, Matt. He has rushed for 46 yards. He had 38 the entire first half, and we still have 3:33 left to go in the third.
Damian Bedell went over the 1,000-yard mark last weekend when he rushed 19 times for 107 yards, and he's well on his way to eclipsing the 100-yard mark again here tonight. 1st and 10. This is Dan Britton. He breaks a couple of tackles, finally stopped by Mike Corton, but not before he gets down to the 22-yard line.
So a pickup of 3 there. They're mixing it up very well, as you see the crowd on hand here this evening.
You'd think those folks would be up on their feet screaming and cheering right now. The Berea fans a bit subdued, although their team is on the march.
I'm sure if they get it into the end zone, they'll get up on their feet and root the Braves on.
Here goes Bedell. Will he get the corner? He does indeed. And he crosses the 20 down to the 19-yard line, but we have a penalty flag down. And Derek Johnson slow to get up, but he does get up and run off the field under his own power.
And this one looks to be against Midpark, the first thing that's gone wrong here for Berea.
Really, Kenny, as many sweeps as Berea has run tonight, it's amazing that that's really the first holding penalty on a sweep we've seen. Almost 9 times out of 10, when that guy on the corner is blocking his man, he almost always gets a little piece of that defender, and that's the first time we've seen a holding penalty here tonight on the sweep.
10 yards.
So now let's see if that changes the play call here. Head coach Tom Madzi, you've been running it the entire time on this drive. Now you have 18 yards to go. Let's see if they put it up top or they try to grind it out again.
Penalties killed their opening drive of the second half. Now they're threatening to do the same here. Firing back across the middle for Damian Bedell, but Mike Corton was right there in coverage and knocks him down for a short gain, if any.
Great coverage there by the linebacker Corton as they give him 1 yard on that pass play.
That was a very well-designed play as far as bringing the running back underneath the coverage and back the other way, but Mike Corton with just great coverage. He said, I'm not buying this fake. Staying right with Bedell.
Big play here, 3rd down and 17. Midpark has to hold here. They cannot give up the first down.
James play action, steps up. Russ Bloor almost had him. He spins away from Bill Kelly's pursuit as well. He crosses the 20, to the 15, to the 10, inside the 5, and he goes in for a touchdown.
Unbelievable. They had him 3 times in the backfield. They could have dropped him for a loss, and that just may put this one out of reach. I know there's a lot of time to go, Matt, but when you make an effort like that and fail to stop somebody, and then they turn it into a big play, 32-yard touchdown run for James.
Russ Bloor appeared to have had James sacked in the backfield, but he spun away. Watch it again on your screen. A Houdiniac by Todd James. There he spins out of one, spins away from another, jukes a couple of defenders, and then it's just clear sailing. You got a great block downfield by Frank McClarty that enabled him to get just inside the cone. And the Midpark Meteors find themselves trailing by 2 touchdowns. Todd Jones now on to attempt the extra point, and his kick just barely gets across the crossbar. And with less than 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, it's 14-0 Berea.
A very impressive drive, with the exception of one pass play. Berea did it all on the ground. Most of it was done by Damian Bedell, but as you mentioned, and appropriately the day after Halloween, a Houdini act there by James. He takes it in from 32 yards out. Now we're going to see what type of a football team Midpark is, because it's going to be hard to come back from a play like that where you have them 3rd and 17. You almost have them for about 5 yards more of a loss on that play, and he turns it into a touchdown. So Midpark has their backs against the wall.
It's amazing. The first drive of the second half, Berea had 2 penalties, stalled it out, and it appeared as though that was the same thing was going to happen again, 3rd and long. But what a performance on that particular play by Todd James. I mean, Russ Bloor is still trying to figure out how he got away. He was right there. Less than 2 minutes to play, as we mentioned, and Midpark will get their hands on the football. And with the wind at their back and less than 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, you may wonder if they'll put it up. This is Joe Petrino across the 25, the 30, across down to the 32-yard line, and he is stopped there by Pete Ferrante. So Kenny, will they elect to throw deep now with the wind at their back and under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter? Well, especially down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they were successful on that one play with Bielik. They lined him up in that wing back wideout slot position and fired the ball down the field. And with his speed, he was able to run under it. So we'll see if they go to the airwaves here.
The handoff is to Slyman, and he barely crosses the line of scrimmage. That Berea defense is pumped now. Dave Satink in there, submarining Slyman.
If you remember their first possession of this second half, they came out throwing, but it was those short sideline patterns. And they were 3 and out on that series. This is their second series of the third quarter, and we only have about 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go in the third. So that showed you how much time Berea chewed up on that drive.
That is right. 2nd down and 10. Here comes the end around. And the play was, the Berea defense was just not fooled at all.
Damon Collins didn't make the tackle, Matt, but he was just standing there and waiting. And he knew that play was coming his way. He was standing there waiting. He never got a chance to make a tackle because one of the up men made the stop. One of the linemen, as you see it coming right at you, we'll try and pick out the number. It was number 50 who made the initial hit for Berea, and that is William Boone. And then, of course, Collins finished him off.
And unfortunately, number 84 is not on our roster, so we don't know who that young man is. And on 3rd down and long, Gardner was trying to hook up with Joe Petrino. Petrino went inside. Gardner threw the ball down the sideline. Therefore, it's incomplete, and Midpark will be forced to punt with 22 seconds left in the third quarter.
When it's 3rd and long, you know that your opponent's going to throw the football. So Berea was expecting a pass there. And they kind of gave him the underneath. They said, if you want the underneath stuff, we'll give it to you. You're not going to get the first down. You're not going to beat us deep.
Now Berea sends 2 men back to return the punt. 1 man is about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. Here's a fake punt. Corton firing it downfield, and the ball is incomplete. It was intended for Rich Cook, but it was just off his fingertips. I'm not sure if he really had a shot to catch that football or not.
But one thing I do know for sure, Matt, no question about that, that was a fake punt. We don't know if the field goal was a fake, but that was definitely a fake punt as Corton tried to connect down the sideline. Not much room to make a completion.
But how about Damon Collins? He didn't buy that fake at all. He was step for step with Rich Cook right down the sidelines, and so with 16 seconds left, Berea has a 2-touchdown lead and the football in Meteor territory. Quick pitch, Bedell on the corner. He cuts back, and there's a flag down. Bedell's off to the races. 20, 15. Stopped there by number 31, Scott Ward, but we're going to have a clipping penalty, and that'll bring this all the way back.
Would have been a 25-yard run by Bedell.
Bill Kelly was the man who was clipped on the play, and he did a nice job of stringing it out.
I don't know if we'll get a chance to take a look at this again, Matt, but one thing that impressed me there, we talked about Bedell able to stop on a dime, but like a very fast car. He's able to accelerate from 0 to 60 in a split second, and you see it right there. Boom, he's gone. If it wasn't for the tackle there, he's into the end zone, and that was by the free safety, the man playing center field. So he shows you his great cutback moves and also his great speed.
And if you picked it out on your screen, you saw the clipping penalty as well on Bill Kelly from his defensive end spot, who had done a nice job to string Damian Bedell out. And then the offensive, I believe it was an offensive tackle or probably a pulling guard, who tried to get the block on Kelly but was called for the clip.
Bedell will still get credit.
Holding, white.
Well, that's interesting. They end up calling the holding penalty. They could have gone either way.
Bedell will still get credit for an 8-yard carry, though, because where the holding occurred, Matt, was down at about, I believe, the 29-yard line, 8 yards from the line of scrimmage. Okay, so he gets credit for an 8-yard run, then they back it up 10 yards, so it's going to be 1st and 12 as we move into the 4th and final quarter.
We have come to the end of 3. Berea leading 14-0. Will Midpark have enough to come back and keep their season alive? Stay with us and find out.
Get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, hey.